dude, they just called me. They said they broke into my house. I mean, it's a good thing they caught it on video.
Was it a bat?
Yeah.
It had a broken wing.
No, but it had a peg leg.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Aaron, coming to you live from Studio 146, and we are continuing our top 10 most underrated animated Disney movies of all time. For today's number 5 pick, we are in our top 5, man.
Dang.
We have just hit our top 5. It's the end game now, people. We are talking about The Great Mouse Detective today, guys. So I know a lot of you guys are like, what? Who? He did what? No. What? The Great Mouse Detective. I know it is very, very underrated. Not a lot of people know this movie. This movie came out back in July 2nd, 1986. And its budget was $14 million.
Dang.
Only $14 million.
You could tell.
Even for the 80s, that's pretty bad. That's
But
real bad.
you have an explanation as to why, though.
But it made $38.7 million. So it made the money back and some, you know. So it was a great movie. You know, it did real good. Basically, think of it, the best way I can explain this to you guys is think Sherlock Holmes, but mouse version.
Yes.
So, but it's such a great movie, such a great adventure. And, you know,
Crime,
it starts off with a bang, you know. Obviously, you know, I'm starting to notice Disney likes to start off with some pretty bad intros, I don't know. It's like they love making us sad.
Not even that. It's like I think like they secretly hate kids. I think it's because of the parks. You know, like the rides, like, oh, damn kids. And yeah, you're right. This intro starts off basically this toy maker. I mean, how more jolly can you get? The guy brings cheer to Holmes. Toy maker gets kidnapped in front of his own daughter by a bat in the dark.
And a bat with a peg leg.
Yes.
And a broken wing. So yeah, he gets kidnapped. The poor little girl's just like, Papa, Papa. And then all of a sudden, the score.
Credits roll in.
And then the score, and then the Great Mouse Detective and all this stuff. So let's go into the big details now. So what makes this movie so great to you?
What makes this movie so great is honestly the pacing, the mood of it. The characters, as always, are very great. Basil, like Aaron mentioned, is a very egotistic but charming at the same time. But again, he's very, very smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows who he's facing. And then even the villain introduction to Ratigan is very ironic because he's a rat amongst a bunch of mice, and you get introduced to this villain and how messed up he can be. When obviously he talks to the toy maker, tells him I'm gonna kill your daughter basically if you don't do what I say.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, well all of them say that, but then he actually kills one of his henchmen because they're drunk, which you have that also in the movie.
Drinking and smoking and violence and guns and knives.
Semi-stripping if you think about it too, almost.
It was
and so
like,
it's
the good old days.
I guess, you know, and
so we had those kinds of things in kids' movies.
When I guess those things weren't censored. I mean, it's the 80s, people. A lot worse things happen than that. And so the guy, one of his henchmen says to the world famous rat, and everybody's in shock. And he obviously brings out his pet cat, which is ironic.
Yeah.
The cat kills him,
Eats him.
And he's looking back at the henchman and saying, "You were saying," because they're singing a song during the time. And they don't want to sing, and he brings out his little bell that calls a cat, and they're like, "Oh crap!" So they go back to it.
They start saying, "Oh, rat again! Oh, rat again!"
I don't know. What did you think about that whole thing about it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the pacing is great. Like I don't think there's ever really like a dull moment in this movie. Honestly,
not at all.
Everything's so like great. Like it all like goes like into motion real well, and there's never really like a stop or like a moment where you're like, man, like,
this is boring.
Skip this. Like, no, like the whole movie is such a great joy to watch. And, you know, and one thing, you know, also that to notice is that, you know, it's really not very like vibrant, you know, like the colors and all things. So, it's very dark, gloomy, mysterious, which obviously works with the tone of the movie, you know.
The cool thing throughout the storyline, again, the pacing of it is as a kid, it challenges you because I remember watching this as a kid. I was never clear as to what was Ratigan's actual evil scheme until really the end. In other words, this movie doesn't treat kids as dumb kids. Like they really treat us as, let them figure it out. Let them stick it out and really they're gonna have a good payoff. And I think we did.
Following Ratigan's henchmen, and they follow him, and he leads them to the lair.
Yeah.
And they think, yeah, and Basil and Watson think, we got him, we did it, we found the girl. And then all of a sudden the bat turns around and he's disguised as the little girl. It's like, ha, got you. And then everybody pops out and is like, surprise! And they make it seem like a party and everything. And Ratigan's over here all showing off, like, you fallen into my trap and all this. And Basil over here, still trying to keep his composure, like,
Definitely.
no, I've got you. And it's like, don't you get it? And he tells him, don't you get it, Basil? You've lost. He's like, you fool, and all this and everything. Yeah. Everyone's laughing at him. They show, they put the little faces of people laughing around him.
He's
and
just
stuff.
devastated. He's broken.
He's like serious, and then all of a sudden you just see like his face go from like to just.
He's broken. He's
and
humiliated.
He just like puts his head down, and he just.
And honestly, I think that's the beautiful thing about this movie is that, again, it's not your typical, hero versus a villain. This is literally a war of the minds. These are two super brilliant characters, because obviously it's a rat and a mouse, but characters that are going against each other, trying to outwit each other. It's like they're playing chess against each other. I think the highlight of this movie, again, the pacing is beautiful. Again, it's kind of like it's taking time. It's good. It's not slow. But again, the ending of it, I love what the directors did with this. And I want us to just briefly talk about this, but the directors did a beautiful, awesome job for a very low budgeted movie. The actual fight between Basil and Ratigan, it's in a clock tower. Please watch it. There's hardly any dialogue. There's none of your typical, how dare you, evil fiend. It's just very...
There's no boasting from the villain like in most other movies.
No,
Like,
and it's cool because it's just in a clock and you hear the tick-tock and...
The music goes away and it's just a...
And you understand why, because, as Basil's escaping to be victorious, Ratigan is... The bomb inside him, the rat in him is finally ticking and it explodes. And you finally see him as the rat that he really is.
And he becomes this ugly looking
and he
rat.
beats the crap out of Basil, man. Like, he beats him up so bad. But again, this is a battle of wits. And this is where Ratigan lost, because he resorted to his might and power. And when he thinks he finally beat Basil, Basil says, the game's not over yet. And the final thing, the clock strikes midnight, knocks him off.
Falls.
And it's very suspenseful.
He falls, you think, oh, he's going to die. But no, then he grabs onto Basil. And then he causes Basil to fall because he's hanging from this part of the hot air balloon. And they both fall and they're like, You see a little girl and the toy maker and Watson, they're all just looking from above in shock and disbelief. Like, man, did Basil just die? Because they make you think like he really just died. Because, again, there's no music.
Yeah, nothing.
And it's just silence. It's still just the clock just boom, boom.
Like The Undertaker.
Boom. And then it's like, and then all of a sudden you hear a little...
And then the score comes back.
The score comes on and Basil's alive. And man, it's awesome. I wanted to hit something. I came across an article and I was reading it. And basically this movie, like under the radar, but they resurrected Disney, basically. And the reason being is because, I found out because the year before this movie came out, The Black Cauldron came out. That movie did terrible. It did very, very bad in the box office. And at that time, they were really considering, shutting down the animation, the whole animation thing, and just focusing on live action movies. But because of this film's success, they say that the executive at the time, I forgot his name, he said, well, you know what? You guys pulled it off. You guys still got it. You guys still got some fight in you, and let's push some more animation movies. And
we
because
got
of
The
that,
Little Mermaid.
we got The Little Mermaid.
And
because of The Little Mermaid, we got Lion King, Aladdin, all these other great movies. And here we are, Walt Disney, the big empire that we know now.
The Great Mouse Detective.
So watch it. With that new information, you better watch it because you
owe
him. Yeah. You owe it to the Great Mouse Detective. How dare you? Oh, here get all too passionate.
I think it's a little too personal to our hearts. But
that's our number 5 pick.
Definitely
and I'm
worth it.
Very, very glad we chose that as our number 5. I'm very glad we did those changes to the list. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep watching. We are in the home stretch, people. We are in our top 5. This is it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell everybody about this series. Anyone that loves Disney, that loves cartoons. And hit us up on Instagram. Follow us at studio_146. Again, my name is Aaron. This is Mr. J. And just to leave you off with a little hint for next week's video, our number 4, it's a very personal favorite of mine. And we're just going to talk about you got to stand out in eye to eye. See eye to eye. Peace out.
See you.